Hey everybody, today is April 5th, 2020. In this video, we're going to be talking about the death of legendary Saints kicker Tom Dempsey, who is said to have passed away from coronavirus, yet another celebrity to have died from this disease, which is allegedly taking over the world. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the language of numerology, particularly the language of Gematria, which far too few people in this country understand. This is a very simple letter numbering system, and when you realize that the mainstream media is using this to publish lies on a daily basis, the truth about this world really begins to come into focus. And the closer you look, the more you realize the truth is definitely not what we're being fed. The rate at which celebrities are dying from this virus is far outpacing the regular public. And this should be of great alarm because it's the mainstream media that's telling us that we should be afraid of this virus to the point where now we have to cover our faces when we go outside. This language of Gematria is used in accordance with dates on the calendar. And in this video, I will show you beyond another shadow of a doubt that what we're being fed through the news is a numeric riddle. Nothing more, nothing less. Today we learned that Tom Dempsey passed away, and this man spent over a decade in the NFL. Notice he played for 5 teams, but the most famous one that he played for was the New Orleans Saints, because during his time with the Saints, he kicked an NFL record 63-yard field goal, a record which stood for over 40 years. And the New Orleans Saints is particularly interesting. Just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made this post about the current coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton, who was also allegedly diagnosed with coronavirus. I even did a video on this post, which is also linked down in the description below. And I talk about how this story was published in relation to the number 44. In the language of Gematria, Saints sums to 44. The 44th prime number is 193. This news story about Sean Payton came out on the 19th of March, the date written 19/3. And now we're being told that Tom Dempsey, a former kicker for the Saints, has passed away on the date written 4/4. Remember, it was Super Bowl 44 that was won by the New Orleans Saints, because all your major sports completely scripted by the numbers. None of it's real. So let's get more into the numerology. Why would the Saints be a team that's scripted around this silly virus that the world is now terrified of? In reduction gematria, Saints equals 19. Perfect for a disease called COVID-19. Of course, 19, the Hebrew gematria of kill. Measuring from the date that Sean Payton was diagnosed with coronavirus to the date of the death of Tom Dempsey was 17 days with the end date included. Note, and this is very important, that today's news was published today. So even though he died yesterday on the 4th, news of his death on the 5th is also significant. If you measure from Sean Payton's diagnosis to the death of Dempsey and the news, you get 17 days either way. The word kill equals 17 in reduction, and also notice it sums to 44 in the alphabetic order. Like we said, Saints equals 44. Also notice how New Orleans sums to 144 in the reverse alphabetic order. This is the same as 44. New Orleans winning Super Bowl 44. Now on April 4th, the date written 4/4, we get the death of Tom Dempsey. Tom Dempsey, known for world record field goal. Field goal equals 44. Now as far as the date of the news story, today, April 5th, written 4/5 or 5/4 internationally. The name Tom Dempsey equals 45, 45, and 54 with the S exception. This man was a kicker for New Orleans, which equals 45, 54, and 54. Also in reduction, COVID-19 sums to 45. The 47 is also interesting. Tom Dempsey born in the year 47. The 45th prime number is 197. Tom Dempsey's record field goal was kicked in the year 1970. So here's another reason why the Saints are being used in accordance with stories about COVID-19. Notice how in the reverse alphabetic order, New Orleans Saints has a numeric value of 224. In Latin or Jewish Gematria, a cipher I teach in all of my videos, the word corona sums to 224. In English Extended, the other large number cipher that I teach, similar to Latin but uses the current 26-letter English alphabet, the name Tom Dempsey equals 1224, another 224 sequence. He was born on January 12th, which means that on the date of today's news story, he's 2 months, 24 days after his birthday. Including the end date, he died 2 months, 24 days after his birthday. But here's what really brings this riddle together. We're just going to look at the alphabetic order, which, as I always say, the most common, the most significant cipher, the most basic one. Let's take a look at the numerology of the New Orleans Saints and learn why a player died of coronavirus on today's date. Notice how the Saints were established in the year 66. Corona equals 66 in the alphabetic order. If you measure from November 1st of 1966 to the date of the death of kicker Tom Dempsey, you get 53 years and 155 days. Well, isn't that interesting? Because COVID equals 53 and coronavirus equals 155. Established in 66, 53, 155. Corona, COVID, coronavirus. All of the numbers coded right in there. How perfect. Speaking of the 53, like COVID, notice how Tom Dempsey's final birthday earlier this year fell on a date with numerology of 53. His world record field goal kicked on the date with 53 days left in the calendar. The New Orleans Saints have won one Super Bowl in their history. That game was played on 2/7/2010. Here you see Super Bowl 44, 2/7/2010. Measuring to the death of Tom Dempsey was a span of exactly 530 weeks. Also notice the year the Saints won the Super Bowl, 2010. Well, in this number, you get the number 201. Remember, it was Event 201, which was a pandemic exercise conveniently held by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation just a month before the coronavirus outbreak. Remember, Bill Gates predicted a coronavirus outbreak, not because he's a genius, but because he's a pawn used by the New World Order to bring about this vaccination agenda. Please see my video on my channel yesterday, Decoding Bill Gates, showing you how Bill Gates has the same gematria as 666, 87, and 156. This man completely coded by the number of the beast. One more really interesting alignment with today's date regarding the death of Tom Dempsey, the Saints kicker. Notice how Saints kicker equals 49 in reduction gematria. Today's news falls on a date with primary numerology of 49. And if you measure to the date that he kicked his record 63-yard field goal, it's been 49 years and 149 days. What about Fox News? Fox News knows exactly what's going on with this language of Gematria, and they code their headlines accordingly. Notice how this headline sums to 330 in the standard reduction cipher. This is no coincidence. Tom equals 33 in reverse ordinal. His last name Dempsey equals 33 in standard reduction. Corona equals 33. The corona is the atmosphere of the sun, which equals 330. And also down in the description below, I have this video linked where even 2 weeks before coronavirus was declared a pandemic, you see all of these news articles with the number 33 in the headline regarding coronavirus. And this is literally like dozens of these articles with the number 33. And this should be a clue to you. This should be a hint that something much, much deeper than what's being told to us by the media is going on. Because if you read between the lines, you begin to truly see the mainstream lies that they're feeding us. And if I came off a little angry in this video, it's because I am pissed the fuck off about this stupid fucking virus and how terrified everyone has become. I feel like I live in a fucking cartoon with the way everyone is treating everybody and the way this is all panning out. It's just absurd. By the way, Bill Gates also give us that 33. This fucking piece of shit. We're told he's some genius computer programmer, but he's really just in a family of eugenicists.